The Apple Watch import ban is paused, for now. The first EV with a lithium-free sodium battery hits the road in January. And Nintendo starts shutting down online play for Wii U and 3DS months ahead of schedule. It's Thursday, December 28th, and this is Engadget News. A federal appeals court in Washington, D.C. has allowed Apple to continue importing the Apple Watch Series 9 and Apple Watch Ultra 2 models on Wednesday. The court's decision comes a day after Apple filed an appeal against the decision by the International Trade Commission to ban imports of both models of the Apple Watch, which are at the heart of a patent dispute. The court's ruling is temporary. Reuters reported the court has given the ITC until January 10th to respond to Apple's motion for a longer-term pause on the ban during the appeals process. This means that Apple should be able to resume Apple Watch sales on its website and in Apple stores in the U.S., something that the company had stopped doing last week. Hours after this story was published, Apple told Engadget that the company would indeed start selling the Apple Watch in the U.S. again. The watch side of Apple's business generates about $17 billion a year, according to Bloomberg. In October, the ITC determined that Apple violated two patents belonging to another California-based company called Masimo. Both patents revolved around the blood oxygen sensor that Apple has included in most models of the watch since 2020. The ITC denied Apple's appeal against its decision, sending the case all the way to the White House for a presidential review. President Biden, however, did not veto the ITC's decision, which meant that the ban officially went into effect last week. In its appeal filed on Tuesday, Apple claimed that the company would suffer irreparable harm if the ban continued. The company is currently exploring redesigning the blood oxygen sensors in its smartwatch after both the ITC and Masimo said that a software fix, which the company is scrambling to issue, would be insufficient to resolve the patent dispute. JAC Motors, a Volkswagen-backed Chinese automaker, is set to launch the first mass-produced electric vehicle with a sodium-ion battery through its new Yiwei brand. Although sodium-ion battery tech has a lower density than lithium-ion, its lower costs, more abundant supplies, and superior cold weather performance could help accelerate mass EV adoption. Car News China reports that the JAC Yiwei EV hatchback deliveries will begin in January. Yiwei is a new brand in 2023 for JAC. Volkswagen has a 75% stake in JAC and owns 50% of JAC's parent company. The Chinese government owns the other half, making for one of the auto industry's stranger pairings. The new Yiwei EV reportedly uses cylindrical sodium-ion cells from Hina Battery. JAC assembles the batteries in the company's modular unitized encapsulation honeycomb structure. The layout can provide for greater stability and performance. If you've been planning on spending the tail end of your holiday break revisiting the original Splatoon for Wii U or Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS, you could be out of luck. It looks like Nintendo has already begun to restrict the Wii U and 3DS's ability to play online, according to multiple users and media outlets like Nintendo Life. This started just before Christmas Eve, which is a real Bowser move. We knew this was coming, but Nintendo originally said the shutdown would not happen until early April. This may not impact every player just yet, so head online with your console to give it a shot. To be fair, Nintendo never actually said that the April end date was set in stone, as the company suggested that it could discontinue online services earlier than planned. They could have warned folks, however, so they could get one last round of multiplayer Kid Icarus Uprising in. This news follows Nintendo closing its 3DS and Wii U eShops back in March. So now you can't buy new games or go online with your old games. This is sad, but it happens. Out with the old and in with the new and all of that. Being a gamer is weird that way. Entire generations of games simply disappear, like Goomba tears in the rain. On the plus side, maybe we'll be able to shell out full price for some more remakes with a Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon refresh coming to the Switch next year. Thanks for listening. There's more to these stories and additional articles at Engadget.com. This episode featured journalism by Engadget contributors Pranav Dixit, Will Shanklin, and Lawrence Bogg, and was produced by Spoken Layer.